All right, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. What went wrong? Are the Bills dead? Do they suck? Okay, no, I don't think anyone's saying that. But what went wrong? Why did the offense struggle so much? Well, one thing that the Dolphins did that, again, I'm very interested in seeing what happens this season. So you're seeing this concept right here. Dolphins have, been doing this for a bit now. They did this a lot with Flores. They're still, mixing in some cover zero blitzes here now, even with the new regime with Mike McDaniel. And really, you see that player right there who's going to be rushing the passer. Watch what he does. Look, you're going to see him just immediately explode off the edge, and he does get a forced fumble right there. And honestly, that was probably the difference in the game, was the fact that they were able to make that one play. So that's something that happened. And why am I bringing this up? It's kind of, one play that worked. What's the overarching picture here? What is the point of this? Well, Josh Allen actually is not always the best against the blitz. Unlike, it's very dissimilar from like a Patrick Mahomes, who you just basically say, okay, don't blitz him because he is great. Not quite the case with Josh Allen. At least it wasn't last year, but in other years, it's been the other way around. So these are the past 2 years, the years that Josh Allen has been a good quarterback, where you have 2021, you see that there was a big drop-off from when he was blitzed versus when he was not blitzed. So in 2021, when he was blitzed, his PFF grade was 71.1 and his passer rating was 87.6. Very pedestrian numbers, whereas when he was not blitzed, his PFF grade went way up to 92.0, and his passer rating was over 100 when he was not blitzed. The key to beating, and again, these are Josh Allen stats, but they're also very much Buffalo Bills stats. So the way that you beat the Bills last season was you blitzed them. That wasn't the only way. Like, listen, Jacksonville barely blitzed them, and they were still able to have success, but that is definitely a pathway, I would say. Although worth noting, in 2020, it was a little bit the opposite. Really no massive difference here. There was a 9-point passer rating jump when he was blitzed as opposed to when he wasn't. So that's a little bit different. His PFF grade was a little bit worse though. So no massive jump in 2020. Also, he's actually performed better when he's been blitzed so far in 2022. So maybe it's just an outlier. Maybe it's just one season, but it can potentially tell us something. And I think I have a theory. So here's going to be another example of just him getting pressure right away. It's going to be Melvin Ingram, who it really makes you wonder, why don't teams pay him more? It seems like he's always productive. Well, watch what he does here. As you see, he is going to be able to very quickly get to Josh Allen and get a sack right here. I'm showing this play to kind of display the fact that the pass rush was very effective against the Bills, and that's, I think, a key to success. Now, I am someone who will often bring up the fact that I think pass rush is a bit overrated. You typically, on a given play, you have roughly the same amount of time regardless to make a throw. Good pass rush will make it a little bit quicker, but as a whole, you'd rather have a good receiver than a good pass rusher. That's something I believe. There's a lot of data that backs that up. I've, gone into much greater detail in different videos on this channel that you can check out if you want to, but regardless, the reason why I'm bringing it up here, though, is because I think against a guy like Josh Allen, pass rush might matter a lot more because so much of his game is scrambling outside the pocket and giving his team like 7 seconds to make a play. But when you're not letting him do that, that is definitely how you can, maybe not even pass rush necessarily, but just not letting him get outside the pocket as frequently is a way you can limit the damage he can do. Again, this is not exactly new ground. This is obviously something that we all expect, that yes, when you don't let the quarterback get outside the pocket, it makes your team better, of course, but it's even more of a deal when you're playing against Josh Allen than against other quarterbacks, I think. But even like something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is it is going to be man coverage. And another fascinating thing is this is going to be exactly what I was just talking about. Okay, don't let him get outside the pocket. Well, he's Josh Allen. Stuff is still going to happen. Look at how Allen is going to, there is pressure, but he gets out of the pressure and is able to get outside the pocket. Again, he's Josh Allen. You can try to limit the times he's going to do this. The Dolphins did a great job at limiting the times he was able to do this. But what you notice is happening here is even when he does do this, nobody is open. All 5 eligible receivers are covered, and that's the key success. It's the kind of obvious thing, but this is the great way that you are able to beat Josh Allen. Oh, all you have to do is stop the run well, rush the passer, and cover well. Okay, yeah, sure, but it just shows that they were able to be successful at every aspect of football. As you notice, Allen is going to be fire one and it is going to just fall incomplete. And again, it feels obvious that this is going to be a successful game plan, but if you can cover well and you cannot allow Allen to get outside the pocket too frequently, this is how you can have keys to success, which again, is the case with every quarterback. I get it, but that's what they were able to do to slow down this Bills offense that was just running over everybody. And especially when it can start up stuff like this, where I already showed the fumble. Allen had a few other near turnovers. This is going to be one of them, where you see how this play can work as the deeper route can kind of be underneath the safety. But worth noting, the safety has no reason to stay deep. The safety can move in if he wants to. And so right when this play begins, Allen is going to look in that direction. Allen is about to fire in that direction. But again, the safety is sitting here saying, okay, there's nobody else on this side of the field. I can see you about to make this throw, might as well make a read on the play. And as you see, I mean, he's nearly going to get that interception. So when you're not letting Josh Allen get these easy 50-yard bombs, it means that he has to more methodically work the ball down the field. And if he is more methodically working the ball down the field, A, he might still get anxious and make a throw down the field, and that can create some mistakes. But B, he's just someone who will make some mistakes in general. He isn't someone who completely takes care of the football amazingly well. He's someone who will put the ball in harm's way at times, and you're okay with it if you're a Bills fan because he does so much good when he takes those risks. But every now and then it will backfire, and that's when you can take advantage if you're playing the way that the Dolphins were playing. Like, finally, one more play, and I think this is kind of the last point, is that even with all this, so I keep saying the Bills, the issues here were the Dolphins were covering amazingly well, and they were not allowing Josh Allen to sort of play his game of getting outside the pocket. So even with that, which is incredibly difficult to pull off, part of it is you do have to get a little lucky, and that's what's going to happen as well. On this play, it's a one-on-one matchup against Gabriel Davis, and right when this play begins, Allen is going to look in that direction. It's not really open, but Allen feels like he can throw it over the top of the defensive back, and there still was a chance to get the touchdown. Allen fires it, and it was nearly caught for a touchdown, just wasn't quite able to get it done. Great defense, absolutely fantastic defense, but there was still a chance that could have been a touchdown, and if the Bills hit on those, even if you're covering incredibly well, even if you're rushing the passer incredibly well, they can still get stuff going in the offensive game. So the main point is that the Bills do have some flaws. The Bills are not a flawless team. They are human. They can be beat. We know that now. But also this kind of goes to show, I think, that even in a game like this where they did make mistakes and they were going up against an incredible defense that was playing fantastically well and had the exact right mindset of how to beat Josh Allen, the Bills came very close to winning. So while there are some flaws in this Bills team, it takes an incredible team to exploit those flaws, which I think the Dolphins are. I think the Dolphins are great. I don't think this is a fluke. I think the Dolphins are legitimately really good. But I think it goes to show that it takes a team like that to be able to exploit, some minor flaws in an otherwise pretty flawless Buffalo Bills team. And again, there were plenty of issues here. The Dolphins had the best home field advantage in sports, so that obviously helps. Both teams were injured. It's not like only one team had some injuries here. That was, these teams will look different the next time they play each other, but it was still a fascinating game, fascinating situation. So that's kind of what I thought about this, why I think the Bills offense struggled, and the real thing is it's probably not going to struggle again, too much throughout the course of this season. It was really just good defense by the Dolphins and maybe a few mistakes that they made, but really I give credit to Miami. I think Miami's good. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.